People is pleased to present 40 Days 40 Fintechs, an initiative under its Include Everyone program, as it continues to lead the way in advocacy for the creation and dissemination of technology that enables financial inclusivity. The 40 Days 40 Fintechs is shining a spotlight on those that are breaking down digital barriers and bringing millions more on the continent into the transactional space and transforming their lives for the better.
My name is Stephen Mutana. I am Managing Director of MTN MoMoPay Uganda Limited. That sounds like a new entity. Indeed, it's new. It's been set up as under the auspices of the National Payment Systems Act, which in brief is the law to regulate mobile money organizations. So we are 100% owned by MTN Uganda Limited, which you know as a telecommunications organizations. I prefer to call it a digital organization. So that's the relationship between MTN Mobile Money Uganda Limited and MTN Uganda Limited. Now, MTN Mobile Money Uganda Limited operates under 2 licenses, and these licenses are under the National Payment Systems Law or Act. This is the Payment Service Provider license, basically being able to offer services under the mobile money auspices of the mobile money area. And then the other is the platform operator license. So we also operate a platform that enables the activities of mobile money. Now, the new company, which is the MTN Mobile Money Uganda Limited, is licensed under the National Payment Systems Act. Now, many may ask, how about before? How was MTN Uganda engaging in activities of mobile money? It was doing so lawfully, and here it was obviously doing these activities in partnership or as mandated by the central bank with a Stanbic Bank as a trust partner when it initially started out. And of course we had what we called the mobile money guidelines, which were guidelines to run the industry. So as you can see, the industry has moved, the regulator has moved from guidelines to a specific act or a set of laws under which is operationalized by a number of regulations. So one can say the industry has transcended from a regulatory point of view as well, because we now have a clear and viable end-to-end governance framework, which we call the NPS, the National Payment Systems Act. So then we had one trust partner, and it moved to a number of trust banks. So today we have 6 of them. The new licensing regime is talking about making sure that, first of all, it's a recognition that the industry has grown. And it's also a recognition that this industry, like in many other parts of the world, is an enabler or a foundation for so many other industries. So, for instance, it's calling for regulation around how, for instance, number one, Payment Service Providers Act. Okay, these would be the likes of MTN Mobile Money Uganda Limited. It's calling for regulations around how Platform Service Providers, Platform Operators Act. As I mentioned, MTN Mobile Money Uganda Limited is a platform operator, but you also have other entities that just manage platforms, okay? So there's regulation of those. Then there's regulation of payments in general. What are the rules around payments? How can we make payments more secure? How can we make payments efficient? Because you have so many players in the space of payments, you then need to make sure that there are proper guardrails or rules. And not only rules, but also things that, aspects that give confidence to people to use these systems. Remember, the objective of government and in which we align is to improve what you call financial inclusion. You need everyone to be able to take part in these new ways of payment, to take part in the industry, to also gain efficiencies. So for instance, if you're using a digital payment system like MoMoPay, whether you are a duka, whether you are operating your salon, okay, as a, an upstart, your hustle is a salon, whether you're selling makeup or lips, makeup or earrings or beauty products, you gain from the advantages of being able to receive money digitally as much as a big organization like a restaurant or a supermarket chain gains. So that's the beauty of this of these capabilities. They spread efficiencies, they spread safety, they spread participation across the entire ecosystem, the entire country, and what across society. And what that does, it uplifts everyone because everyone benefits from the new capabilities and the technologies. And things like, there's transparency, who's paid, when they've paid, what time they paid. There's safety. People are able to access their wallet securely and able to transact. There's real time. You pay for something and it has been paid for. Even the person receiving the message knows this money or these funds have been received. This is a very, very big world of difference from the days of pure cash, where you'd probably have to either move physically to pay, or you would send someone and you would spend all the time trying, or considerable time, trying to establish whether the money has been received or not. So, and of course, there's the risk of movement of cash and all that. So you can see that these efficiencies, digital, brings together a lot of benefits across all sectors of society. And what is clear is that no one should be left behind. So financial inclusion is right at the center of that. It's within MTN's strategy, which we call Ambition 2025. So by 2025, we've set ourselves clear targets around our participation in the communities in which we're privileged to do business. So I would say digitization of payments is key. So MoMoPay is a platform that is utilized for businesses to receive digital payments either face-to-face or remotely. All right. Now, in order for MoMoPay to scale, in order for people to get the full benefits of the cashless economy, everyday people should be able to transact with this, to be able to pay cashless, to pay digital, anywhere they go. And by that, what do I mean? If the customer's agenda is to go to their local hardware, to their local wholesale, to their local duka, that's their agenda. They're doing life. That's what life is about. Now, when they get there, for them to be able to pay cashless, that's using MoMoPay, then is MoMoPay being relevant to the customer's life? So we should always remember, it's about the customer's life. It's about what the customer needs. So from that point of view, we are the ones trying to align into the needs of the customer. And to that end, it's in our agenda, and we are deeply embedded in the activities of making it easy within the confines of the regulations for people to onboard onto these digital services like MoMoPay. For instance, I'll tell you, there's a difference between the requirements of somebody who's doing MoMoPay for their small business and somebody who needs MoMoPay for a formal organization. So right here now, I'll tell you, if you're a fully registered customer for your SIM card, that's all you need to have MoMoPay for your small business. That's all. So you don't need any other element to get onto MoMoPay. That is, if you're a small business and a small medium enterprise, that's all you need. Now, if you are then going to use MoMoPay across a number of sites, you're an organization, you have a number of branches in different parts of the town or country or city, then you're what you'd call a formal entity. And by that, you're probably a limited company, a company that is limited in existence. So you're actually a legal entity as an organization, and as a result, there are certain documents that then describe you as a legal entity because you're a limited company. So what we've done is made that as seamless as possible. So for instance, provision of all those documents, we have our digital onboarding kits that pick up all that data or that information, and then we're able to process. So we can always continue improving. I think that's a valid point. But I think it's also very important, as I mentioned, once you get into these digital systems, remember you are interconnecting across a system that is used across the entire country, which is interconnected to other global systems. So it's very important that the participants are well known and that what they're doing is legitimate. And that's why you have regulations, just to make sure that we have the right people using these systems for the greater good of everyone. So we're very, very excited about MoMoPay, and one of the impacts of this terrible pandemic has been that the uptake has accelerated. People are aware of the advantages of MoMoPay. So for instance, for a small business, I'll tell you, it's not just about them receiving digital payments. MoMoPay is more than that. It allows that small enterprise to sell airtime at 4% commission. Can you imagine? You have a payment system that is even allowing you to do more business. It allows that merchant to receive school fees. So wherever you see a MoMoPay merchant, you can actually go pay school fees at that point. In real time, you will get notification from your child's school that they've received the school fees. You can pay your water and electricity bills. You can pay your DSTV. So wherever you see a MoMoPay merchant, and you know, the informal MoMoPay merchants, I would call it a business in a box. So it's allowing you to accept digital payments, but it also allows you to receive other lines of business. People can pay for their TV subscriptions, for their water bills, electricity, the school fees. You can sell airtime. And most important, as a merchant, if you're going to pay your suppliers and they're on mobile money, you just pay direct. You don't need to withdraw the money, and then it's all cashless, okay? So MoMoPay is a full end-to-end proposition that not only allows you to receive digital payments and makes your business more efficient because you can pay using mobile money, but most important, it brings new lines of business into your business. More Cash is a lovely service. It's it's a partnership between MTN Mobile Money Uganda Limited and the NCBA Bank. So NCBA Bank is actually the entity, the financial institution that gives you the money. They use the mobile money system in order to access you, in order to give you that money, in order for you to subscribe to the service, in order for you as a customer to borrow and to pay back, okay? But the entity that is actually lending the money, giving you the money, is NCBA Bank. And that is within the auspices of the regulations, because MTN Mobile Money Uganda Limited cannot directly give you the money. Okay. Now, More Cash has been in the market for over 3 years. It was the first, what you'd call mobile loan service for both loans and savings, okay? And the loans are interesting. They are not secured. So for instance, it's not like bring your land title before I give you the money. No, it is your utilization of services within MTN that gives them a view of whether you're a person they can lend to or give money to. I'll give you an example. If your number is active, you're making voice calls, you do data, you send SMSs, you receive SMSs, you use mobile money. You're showing them that you're an active customer. Okay, so from that they're able to then determine that, okay, this person is active, and if they subscribe to the service, we're able to lend them or give them what they need. And these are usually what you call microloans. So right now, More Cash is 30 days. So if you're subscribed to the service and within your limits, you request for the money, and instantly it's delivered to your wallet. Okay, instantly you receive the money and you utilize it for whatever it is. Okay, now many people are using it for many reasons, many reasons. As I mentioned initially, always remember the customer is in charge. They are the ones who live their lives. So some of them, for instance, yesterday I was engaging with a customer who's rearing rabbits, and they were getting a More Cash loan, okay, a More Cash loan, in order to procure medication for the rabbits, okay. So you can see that these products are there to enable people do their businesses, live their lives. It could be for healthcare, it could be for education. The money is used for a variety of reasons. Now, during the pandemic, obviously, if you remember, there was a lockdown last year, I think 3 months. And of course, businesses were affected and that kind of thing. So you would see that the borrowing does go down. Most recently, in the last 2 weeks, there was an article in the New Vision around the mainstream financial institutions. You also noticed they were saying the same thing, that they are holding on to trillions of shillings because people are not borrowing, and why aren't people borrowing? Because the pandemic brings a certain level of uncertainty. The lockdown has impact, and so the economy kind of slows down, okay? Now, obviously, we're out of the lockdown, and hopefully people are getting the levels of activity, economic activity, back to where it should be, and that's where you get people then taking the risk to borrow in order to make a profit or an upside in their businesses. So generally, the levels during the pandemic, of course, and the lockdown, the demand goes down. And of course, as an organization as well, we also have to be we have to be cognizant of the stress within the greater country or community and the economy. And by that we mean, remember, this is unsecured, okay? So there's what you'd call a scoring. You know, how do you give somebody 10,000, the other 100, the other one 200? There's a methodology around it. So I think the scoring gets refined, and then you make sure that those who borrow what they really need and what they can actually return. So More Cash is still growing, maybe not growing as fast, especially because of the impact of the pandemic, but definitely growing, and the service is utilized. We truly are privileged to be doing business and partnering with the community in Uganda, and our broad goal is for us to enable you in all ways that you do business, that you do life. And yes, there are products like MoMoPay, there are products like you can cash out, you can receive remittances and all that, but there will also be specific products that are going to be launched very soon, like Momo Business, which is specifically for business. It builds onto MoMoPay, but gives businesses a bit more around invoicing, around payments that are done by businesses, and collections. So it's a privilege to be part of the 40-day 40 fintechs initiative, and we fully support this kind of industry-wide initiatives that are geared at not only promoting but also educating Ugandans about the major players across. And when I say major players, it's not only the ones that you know, but the ones that they're going to reveal to us, the people who enable all these wonderful services that you enjoy as part of the digitization of financial services. You can always visit www.mtn.co.ug to learn more about mobile financial services and both existing and new products. So we look forward to your visit. Thank you very much. Stay safe.
40 Days 40 Fintechs is presented in proud partnership with Crossleg Technologies, Modus Box, Modular Foundation, and Level 1 Projects.